Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been some time because I think the last video I filmed was a Little Mermaid thing. So sorry about that, but I am back. And as you can see by the title, we are now reviewing episode 6. I know I'm a little late, but at least now I think I only have 4 more episodes to go because I believe there's only 10 episodes in season 1. And I heard there's a season 2, something about a summer school thing. I saw like a little picture of that and I was like, what's is that? That's gonna be tea. That's gonna be interesting. Like, hey, you gonna be killing people while they in summer school? That's fucked up. Whatever. But let's get straight into and I'm eating McDonald's, by the way, so if you see me eating shit, that's what I'm eating. So yeah. Okay, so this episode was really, really dark and it started off very heavy in topics. When I say that, I just mean like the topics that the girls were talking about throughout this episode was very heavy, and I didn't expect it, but like I thought it was good, like to, just bring awareness of the situation. And I kind of guessed it last episode when Tabby kind of left off when she was talking about how something happened to her in the woods like last summer. I was like, is it what I think it is, or like am I just going nuts? But it was. Her and Imogen had 2 incidents when someone took advantage of them, and I felt really bad. So like I said, they started off this episode really, really dark and heavy, and then I just started thinking of like different theories because we know the whole situation with Tyler. That's why Imogen pretty much was like, is that why you went after him? Do you think it was him? And then Tabby was like, yeah, but like I found out it wasn't because he was on vacation. So now at this point we don't know who did it. We don't know anything, and that's just a very scary situation to be in. And then I had this theory. I was like, it happened to Imogen, so does that mean, like, is that how she got pregnant? And then lo and behold, toward like the end of the episode, she said that that's how she got pregnant. I know that's extremely traumatizing. So I was crying a little bit. Like I said, it really started out heavy and I was like, oh God, okay, like, whew, need to take a deep breath because girl. Okay, so let's get into it. So that portion was pretty much like the first like 2 minutes. They were talking about that, and then yeah, I pretty much said like this is some deep fucked up shit. And then yeah, that's pretty much all I said about that. Then we get into Farrah's mom. Now, Farrah's mom, I don't know. I'm just not feeling Shawty, if I'm being honest. Like, she kind of get on my nerves, but like, whatever. Anyway, so you know how Abe been sending her moms like gifts and shit. So he finally sent Farrah's mom her gift, and then we get into a little flashback because we gotta go into the flashbacks, which I really love. By the way, I love all the flashbacks, and I love when the moms get the gifts. We get to see what the gift meant. So I was with it. So we go into this flashback, and this shit is really fucked up. So Angela is sitting there with Farrah's mom. I forgot Farrah's mom's name at this point. It don't fuck matter, but she trying to convince Angela to get a tattoo, and she's like, the girls will see us matching and it'll be cool. Angela's like, okay. Like, Angela's obviously is like not really feeling it, but at the same time she's gonna do it. So then next thing you know, she's getting like her initials and she's in the chair and she look up and Farrah's mom is nowhere to be found. Like, whoosh, vanished. I was like, she went through pain, she's bleeding to get a tattoo, thinking that y'all gonna be matched, y'all gonna be besties, and you just ditch her. I'm starting to be on A's side with these moms. Not the fact that he's torturing like their daughters, because what the fuck do they gotta do with their fuckery? But the way he like coming for the moms, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of agree with him. But yeah, I kind of thought I was really, yeah, I don't know. And then I really just put, sorry, but the girl's mom were some sick, twisted bitches. And that's exactly how I feel. No disrespect to the moms, but like disrespectfully. I mean, if A gonna come for y'all, A should be coming for y'all, not y'all daughters. Because what do they have to do with y'all stuff that y'all did back in the day? Whatever. So A pissed me off with that, but it is what it is. So then after that, the guy that called Imogen last episode, returned her call, was like, oh yeah, I knew Angela back in the day, come meet up with me. So of course Tabby and Imogen go meet up with this stranger, and first of all, he told them to call him Crazy Joe. Like, red flag. And then like has them sitting in like an old dusty train thing. I was like, who the fuck lives there? And like, why y'all going in there with him? Like, he's a stranger, but like, whatever. So he pretty much explains how he didn't know Angela. He was in love with her pretty much from afar. He tried to warn her, like, stop hanging out with them girls. What did he call them actually? He said they were she bitches. I was like, I mean, you better know it. So anyway, so he pretty much tried to warn her, like, don't hang out with them, blah, blah, blah. She didn't, whatever. Then this is where it gets crazy, because I was like, girl. So he said that, right? And then he was like, after Angela died, Angela's mom came to the school with a knife, like, trying to stab bitches. I was like, at first when he said, I thought he was, like, joking, whatever. But, like, he didn't. Like, he didn't crack a smile. So I was like, oh, so we're for real? Okay, like, that's fucked up. So thank God she ain't kill nobody. She ain't hurt nobody. But, like, I definitely thought, like, okay, did she murder somebody? Because we need to know. Obviously, it wouldn't be the moms because all the moms are alive. But, like, did she do something? But, yeah, she definitely came up with that lunchroom, like, who wanna get it? And I was like, yeah. So that was crazy. I was like, okay. I mean, at that moment, I mean, she out for blood. And, like, it is what it is. Moms, gotta go. So, yeah, that's what happened. Then this is where it get crazy. So they mentioned Radley. Anybody who knows me know I am a huge fan of the original Pretty Little Liars. It's one of my favorite shows. And if you have watched it, then you know when obviously in reboots, when original stuff are mentioned, it's great. I literally started screaming. I paused and then I screamed. So they mentioned Radley because Angela's mom ended up in Radley's sanitarium. Obviously before it was made into a hotel. So they mentioned that. At this point, I'm like, are they going to go to Radley and, like, snoop? Like, you know, in the original, that's how, like, Spencer and Arya would be. Like, they will go snoop. Like, they was giving that vibe. So I was like, these shorties definitely going to drive to Rosewood and go, like, snoop. And that's exactly what they did. And at this point, I'm like, how far is Rosewood from Millwood? Probably not that far. I'm gonna say maybe like 2 hours, but I was with the road trip, so I was happy when they mentioned that. And so at this point, I'm like, please go. So yeah, so the next scene, we get to Kelly, Karen, whatever, and she talking to Greg, and she like, oh, like, Tyler's an asshole. And he's like, yeah, Tabby hit him, and he's probably real embarrassed because I haven't seen him since. No one knows yet that Tyler is dead, but, like, whatever. So then, like, it get mad weird because, you know, she's like, don't you miss Karen? And he's like, I mean, not really. And I was like, that's fucked up, but, like, whatever. So they start making out. He really trying to, yeah. And she's like, boy, like, back up off of me, right? So then she was like, you better be at my show and you better be front row with flowers. I was like, girl. But, you know, at this point, I was with the shits because he's like, I really like you. Like, I'm feeling you. Like, I wasn't even feeling your sister like that. Like, I've always wanted you. And she's like, okay, sweetie, if you want to prove it, be at my show with my flowers. I was like, whoa. It was mad aggressive, but I kind of was feeling it. I ain't gonna lie. So he scurries the fuck off, whatever. And then lo and behold, we see a dumbass just watch it from the shadows. Whatever. So I think that was the first page. Did I get through the first page? I think I did. Wait a minute. Oh no, this is, so I'm turning this over. All right, so after that, I was like, okay, I have a feeling that this episode, like, no one gonna die in this episode, but, like, something bound to happen. I don't know exactly, but, like, you know, it's he gonna do something. He's not just gonna be boring, lurking and looking at Kelly. If he's looking at you, sweetie, he coming for your ass. I don't know why exactly, and I don't know when, and I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's doing something. Lo and behold, man, that man, whoever it is, whatever. So anyway, we jump into Noah's little situation and pretty much talking to her boyfriend about how she wants to go out for, I think it was the track meet team, but she feels like she can't because she has to take care of her mom. Y'all know her mom's an addict. Noah's been struggling with this her entire life. Y'all know she took the fall for her mom, which I was so shocked to hear. That was crazy. And I just don't think it's fair to her. She's like 15 or 16. She has a life to live, but, like, that's pretty much what she on. And she's pretty much telling her boyfriend, like, I can't just leave my mom. Like, I gotta take care of her. Like, even if I miss out on this and this and this, like, it is what it is. Like, I have to take care of my mom. Like, I always have been the one to take care of her, and it is what the fuck it is. And her boyfriend just looking at her like, nah, this dumb as fuck. So, and honestly, I was on his side, but, you know, whatever. But I do feel bad for her. I do hope it gets better somehow, some way. But yeah, that shit was fucked up. So anyway, oh yeah, I literally said kind of wonder how far Rosewood is from Millwood. Probably a few hours. So at this point, they're actually going to Radley, which I was hoping, because I was like, if they go to Radley, maybe they'll see somebody from the original, or somebody will get mentioned. I don't know, but I was happy. So as they're going on a road trip, you know, they're having ideas. They're like, da-da-da. They're talking to each other, kikiing, like, okay, who wants to go? And then obviously Tabby and Imogen was like, we'll be the ones to go because the other three girls has shit to do. So at this point, I forgot who was coming to Millwood High, like some lady, I guess, watching the girls do their ballet shit. And hold up. All right. So tell me why. Wait, where the fuck? Where my shit go? Oh, okay. All right. So at this point, like, Farrah, we find out in the episode that Farrah has scoliosis, right? But her mom mad weird about it. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was up with them, but her mom is mad weird, like, when it comes to, like, her daughter's scoliosis. And I was like, what's up with your mom, shawty? But I really don't know at this point. So, but her mom in the entire episode is making a big deal about appearances and, oh, you have a scar and da-da-da-da-da. This is the first episode we're discovering that Farrah has scoliosis and that she has a scar, like, on, like, her back. Never knew. I'm like, okay, whatever. But Farrah doesn't seem to, like, be afraid to say it or, you know, let people know or et cetera, et cetera. But her mom is mad, like, sus about it. So she's in front of this lady, I guess, about to sort of do some kind of audition. And Kelly a fucking dickhead. She gonna break up her scoliosis. And a lady was looking at her like, well, that makes me more impressed. And I was like, see, that's what you get, Kelly. You really thought by telling this lady that she has scoliosis that, like, what, she would think Farrah is not qualified? Bitch, she's even more impressed. She's like, you out here dancing, doing your shit, and your back is fucked. I'm with it. At this time, I was laughing because Farrah's mom was in the back making the craziest faces. First, when Kelly said that, she was like, she was about to jump over the chair. And then once, like, you know, the lady was like, I'm impressed. She was like, oh, all right. Like, her face relaxed. That shit was funny. I thought it was funny. So as that's happening, like I said, the girls are in Radley now. And they're at the, you know, counter, whatever, trying to get information about the guy. And he mentions Eddie Lamb. If y'all have watched the original Pretty Little Liars, Eddie Lamb played an interesting part in the whole role of, like, Toby's mother dying. And when Spencer was, like, trying to get clues out of him, that's the boy that she went to, like, talk to him when she was in there. So that's the same Eddie Lamb. I also think that was the, like, was that the job ID somebody was using to get in and out of Radley in the original? I think it was. I forgot who was using it, but somebody was using it. So as soon as I hear his name, I was like, okay, are we going to get the same actor? Are we getting someone new? Is he older at this point? Since obviously it's years and years and years from, like, back in the day when Spencer was in Radley. Like, what are we getting? What are we giving? So that's what I was excited about. So then they got to give the little dude at the, you know, the counter money or whatever, because he just not trying to give up nothing, whatever. So they go into the room, and the room is nice as hell. That room was bougie as hell, okay? Like, Radley obviously looks different now because I think their whole point of doing that was it's supposed to be years and years later from when the original Pretty Little Liars ended. So obviously, you know, the Radley can look new. That's completely realistic because that's pretty much like you seeing a hotel from, like, at the time, maybe you've seen a hotel 10 years ago to now. That's completely realistic. Like, things could obviously change. So I was excited. I was kind of hoping we would see somebody or hear something, but we didn't. Maybe we'll get more of that in season 2 and, like, seasons on and on, because this fucking show is good. So I know this show definitely is going to have multiple seasons. I'm saying it right now. So yeah, they get into the room and it's bougie. They're pretty much chilling, relaxing. They're excited, and that's pretty much it. They're in robes. They having a little girly spa day, whatever. Cool. So then we get back to Millwood, and Noah's boyfriend has the balls and the audacity to go to Noah's mom like, look, my girlfriend wants to, you know, do track and wants to do this and explore life, and she can't do the shit because she's taking care of your ass. So get your shit together because your daughter's like 15 and I love her. That's what he was giving. And I was like, oh, like, I didn't expect that, but, like, that was all right. That was cute. It was sexy. I was like, okay. And obviously the mom didn't expect it either. She was like, I was like, well, I mean, it is what it is, but, like, so then we go from another girl to another girl. Now we go to Mouse. You know, her and Ash are on their little date. It's pretty much showing you the reasons why they couldn't go to Rosewood. Noah's taking care of her mom, and now Mouse is on a date with Ash. This is where it got fucked up. And I didn't expect this at all. So my eyes was like, what? So they're on a little date. They're bowling. And she, you know, one of those things when you think you see somebody and you don't really know, so you got to double take. She did one of those, right? So she see the guy that she was like doing that weird role play stuff or whatever. I still want to know why she does that, but like whatever. So I think like in the beginning of the episode, she had told him like, hey, you know, we have rules. That was a one-time thing and I only did it so you can say goodbye to your daughter, Rachel. This man is stalking her for whatever reason at the bowling alley. And she like, so she's like, Ash, can you go get me food? I'm hungry. So she approaches him and he like, and she's like, did you stalk me? Like, what are you doing here? This man is giving creepy. And then tell me why Ash comes over and he's like, yeah, I'm Mouse's dad. Bro, what? Are we serious? Like, I literally said, hell no. This man really gonna pretend to be her dad? Like, are we not here? Clearly you're not there, whatever. So Mouse is like, extremely traumatized and like disturbed. She's like, we need to go. Like, skedaddle. So I was like, why is he doing that? I hope that comes up more in like another episode at least, but that was mad weird. Like, what was the point of that? So I literally wrote creepy. Wait, what? Couldn't even read my handwriting because I was writing so fast. I just wrote, that's so creepy. Of course, when someone's trying to help someone, it backfires, because that's all she was trying to do is help him for whatever reason, say goodbye to his daughter. Like I said, I still want to get into the backstory of how she started to like role play, like to help people say goodbye, I guess, to their murdered or kidnapped children. I was just very confused. The Halloween episode was already creepy enough with A lurking around, but her doing that, I don't know what's happening. So anyway, so then we go back to Noah's little situation. I said, Noah, your mom is getting on my nerves. First of all, wait, what? It's not like he told her, oh yeah, wait, I can't even read my freaking handwriting because I wrote it so quick. So I pretty much was like, she's getting on my nerves because she was getting at Noah. Like, she kind of was like gaslighting Noah a little bit. Like, I didn't know I was such a burden. And I was like, first of all, it's not like Noah told her boyfriend to come over and snap the fuck out of you. He did that because he loves your daughter. Let's make that clear. And also too, like, why are you gaslighting your daughter to make her fucking feel guilty about shit that you want to do and you're an adult? She was just like, I didn't know I was such a burden to you. And Noah's like, bro, I didn't even tell him to do that. And like, I mean, yeah, you are. And like, yeah, I should be able to live my life. But like, I didn't tell him to say shit. So at this point, I was like, their relationship is just, I mean, it's probably already strained as it is. It's probably going to get worse as time goes on. Am I done this paper? I am done. So now we on the final paper. So this is where, you know, like the last 10 minutes of a show, especially a juicy show like this, it take a turn for the, yeah. So we go back to Rosewood and Tabby and Imogen talk about how like Tabby wants to explore, Imogen just wants to stay in. So Tabby goes out, she wants to find a movie theater, a bookstore, something, you know, hang around, whatever. So I think she was at a bookstore or library. I don't know. She was looking at the book and this guy goes to Rosewood High, which I thought was cool. And he's like, oh, like, you know, you're not from here, because obviously I've never seen you in like Rosewood High. They start talking. He's like, oh, like we should go for a coffee, hang out. And she's like, okay. And I literally wrote, how the hell is it this easy to meet a guy? Like, while you just out looking at books? Like, I can't do that in real life. Shows make it seem very easy. Like, you just out at a supermarket. You're just out walking around. You're just out looking at books and boom, a guy, like, what? Meets up with you? Like, he just says hi and think you're pretty and y'all just go on a date? That's it? Whatever. So they're hanging out. Eventually get to the point where they're making out in the car and like, she's like, stop. And he like doesn't stop. And I got super fucking nervous at this point. I was like, bitch. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It was not fucking real. It was on her head. And like, she started hyperventilating because obviously she was, you know, triggered and like flashing back to certain events. So I was like, oh my God. And she was like, no, like, I'm good, thanks. He was like, okay, see you around. Was completely nice about it. Wasn't creepy. But like, oh, child, okay. So I literally wrote, oh shit, Tabby, please breathe. Because she was like, I was like, breathe and like scurry the fuck off and go back to your hotel. Because that was like, I don't even know. Oh. So this is the funny part. Okay. Not funny, but like, I don't even know. So Karen, whoever, is like, you know, in the same theater where she was in the beginning of the episode where her and Greg was like talking, and somebody in there with her. Of course they are. Now, when I was watching the episode, I did think it was A, but now I'm starting to think it was somebody else. And I'll explain why. So somebody starts chasing her with a knife or whatever. They're in like a different costume, not a costume, just a different costume I've never seen before. They texted her, Karen or Kelly, like pretty much, girl, who are you? Because people have suspicions. And so she like running around, she crying. She gets to a point where she's sitting and they look like they're about to stab her. She was like, I'm Kelly. And she crying. She opened up her eyes and whoosh, they're like not there anymore. So I thought it was A, of course. But then we get to like sort of the end of the episode, and Henry, the guy who like is filling Farrah, is dressed up in the same costume, I believe, that was chasing Kelly, just with no mask. And I think, at least like as I'm thinking about it now, when she was sitting there before she started to get chased and that person was just standing there, I think she said, Henry, is that you? They were dressed up in a costume. So I was like, why did she think it was Henry? Was that supposed to be his costume for the Black Swan? Because toward the end of the episode, he's in that same costume, I believe, just no mask. So I'm like, is it Henry trying to get revenge for Farrah, or is it A? At this point, it could be anybody. But yeah, I was like, they let her the fuck go. All right, shit. Okay, we don't need another dead sister. Like, let's not. So we go back to Rosewood. At this point in the episode, obviously, y'all know it just keep going back and forth, back and forth. So now we're in Rosewood. We're sitting with Elliot Lamb, and he's spilling all the tea. And he basically say that those girls came to visit Angela's mother because now there's multiple, like, A. Water signatures in the freaking logs. So now there's 5 of them, and he said the 5 girls, like, came to visit her. He don't know why. They just did. But eventually we get to the end of the episode, and Tabby discovers there's actually a 6 signature for A. Waters. She's like, not only did our moms visit this woman, the woman that like we caused the daughter to like die and we bullied her, but now someone else, it was secretly visiting the mom in Radley. We don't know who the fuck it is, but they mentioned Riverdale, and I thought that was cool because I forgot Riverdale is supposed to be in the same universe as this because Riverdale's producers produced this as well. So this was cool because like all my shows wrapped up in one. Okay, so at this point I was just like, why would the girls visit Angela's mom? I hope that comes up eventually, and I was like, this shit is getting deeper and darker because so yeah. So Farrah got scoliosis or whatever. And A sent her this text, whatever. And she discovered that her mom was trying to get her surgery that she didn't need. So to be petty, for like her little bio and her little thing that like hangs up in the theater, and then her picture, she posed. Her back is showing like this. And she writes in her little bio card, like, oh, my mom tried to get me surgery that I didn't need because all she cares about is looks. I don't know why, but it is what it is. And I was like, woo, that's intense. I think even the girl said that. So I was like, so Farrah's mom is a dickhead. Yeah. And Kelly actually dropped out of the Black Swan. So now Farrah is the Black Swan because Kelly is obviously traumatized. Honestly, I understand why. Like at this point, I was like, that's fucked up. Whoever it was, Henry A., whoever... why y'all had to do that to that girl? Like, she just lost her sister. I mean, whatever. Tell me why the man that's stalking Mouse is at the freaking, like, Black Swan. Tell me why he there. I'm still pissed. Like, I don't even know. So, now we get to the end of the episode, and Farrah's mom is like, get in her car after she see the little bio. She like, oh my God, she crying and shit, and she get into an accident. Was it an accident or was it A? Let me know. Let me know. Because you know, in this universe, there's no accidents. Especially if A is exposed to you and you're exposed to A, there's no accidents in your life. It's just A. So, literally, Farrah's dad comes in and he's like, you gotta come with me. Your mom was in an accident. And I was like, girl, like, was it really an accident? Was your mom that stressed when she saw that shit? Or was it A? Because we don't know at this point. He could be coming for her neck because he definitely was in the beginning of the episode when he dropped her little gift and shit. So I don't know. So that's all of that. Oh, that shit was crazy. But I'm going to go watch episode 7, I believe, tomorrow because I'm off. And I'll probably film another YouTube video for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. I promise I'm going to get to episode 10 and we'll talk about it. And then once I get more details about season 2, we are going to talk about that as well. If you have not followed me on TikTok, please go follow me. It'll be in the description down below. And tell everybody you know to subscribe to me. Love you guys. Bye.